Hey record loving friends, it's Brian from Tokyorecordstyle. The sun is going down right behind me. I can just see a little sliver of it left. And I'm here in Meguro-ku. A ku means ward in Tokyo, and there are 26 different wards in the city of Tokyo. Those are what comprise the city itself. It's something like 26 wards and 5 villages and one something or other. There's just some different designations for the regions of Tokyo, and the 26 kus are sort of the main thing that you can identify each of the districts in. I live in the Suginami district, and right now I'm in the Meguro district, and I'm here at the Meguro Persimmon Hall. It's a concert hall where there is all different kinds of performance, I assume. It looks like they have a big hall and a small hall, and it's kind of a public works project. I can see that maybe it's not that old, but it's this giant concrete complex, and behind me are some danshi housing, which are these sort of utilitarian housing building styles that came out of the post-war boom, and it's where people imagined idyllic lives where they would have sort of a, atomic family and all the latest appliances. And they still build danshis, and they've gotten nicer and nicer over the years, but they're sort of no frills living. There aren't necessarily elevators or common amenities that you might find in a single family home. But they have advantages because they're adjacent to places like these. They're obviously usually much more affordable, and they're atomic. And that appeals to some people living in the big city Tokyo. There are some beautiful red momiji Japanese maple trees here behind me. They're really vibrant today. I mean, we're kind of at like peak momiji. Look how beautiful they are, right? And the reason that I've come here today is because my son is involved in hip-hop dance, which I'm very happy about. My family are full of dancers. It somehow skipped a generation with me, but my sisters are dancers, and my mother was a ballerina, and my son is a pretty darn good hip-hop dancer. And he just really took to it like a fish to water. Or duck to water, I think is the expression. And he really loves it, and I'd never ask him to do it. He just does it because he wants to do it. And he graduated out of his first initial hip hop class, and now he's dancing with a kind of I'm told it's a little prestigious crew. Led by a woman named Rie Hata, who is half Japanese and half Filipino, and who is the dance choreographer for a lot of the famous dance groups and performing acts. So we're here, and I just thought it would be an opportunity while I'm waiting. They're doing rehearsal, and I've been sitting doing a little bit of work for the last few hours, and I thought I would just fire up the old camera and say hello to everybody without much of an agenda on what to talk about this video. There was one thing that was on my mind. I'm not really sure if it's worth bringing up because it's a little bit of a prickly topic. But I was recently called out for nothing. I was coming into a space of friends and with nothing but good intentions and good vibes, and extremely good intentions and extremely good vibes, and I had no reason to really expect to have any flack, from anybody for any particular reason. And I did. I got some ribbing, which was totally fine. I can take some ribbing, but it was just so unwarranted, and it was kind of unfriendly, and especially when it was so undeserved. And it really confused me, because not because of the behavior that my friends exhibited, but because this is not an uncommon situation in my world. I think I often confound people with my sense of positivity. And I don't think of myself as a particularly positive person. I just think of myself as a person, and just my default is my default. I don't really think that I need to be positive or enthusiastic about things. It's just my nature to be these ways, and I took a little bit deeper dive into what this might be, and why does my enthusiasm, or why does my natural default positivity maybe rub people the wrong way. And I found something interesting that I'd never heard of before, and that is called toxic positivity. I've heard of, toxically negative people, but actually I haven't heard of toxically positive people. And what it is, there's some security guards asking the people to hop off their bicycles. What toxic positivity is, well, I think it's a bit debatable exactly what it is, but it's obviously what it sounds like. It's people being very optimistic and enthusiastic, and it's often thought of in terms of, somebody who says to you, who might be down and out, hey, why don't you just cheer up? Life is so great. Why be so negative? Why be such downer Debbie? Come on, cheer up. It's not that hard. It's just life. And that's really, I think, what people call toxic positivity. And what it does is it makes people feel uncomfortable and less than, that they can't cheer up like these enthusiastic and positive people can do. And it invalidates their feelings, and it makes them feel insecure, and all these kinds of things. And so you can look it up and learn more about it. It's pretty obvious and intuitive. But what does a person do who this is their default? Do they try to bring some, negativity into their life? Do they try to be somebody who they're not? Do they try to, curb their own enthusiasm? Or do they stay true to themselves? And I really appreciated recently, somebody had suggested that I do the turkey tag for Thanksgiving, list up some records that were turkeys, certain albums within a particular artist's discography that were turkeys. And I replied, I don't know if I could actually do that, because I don't know if I could really begrudge any record for being a turkey. Now, that's not to say that I don't have tastes in records, or that there's things I like and things that I don't like, but I respect the act of expressing oneself and putting one's, creative neck out on the line, and, leaving it all on the stage. And I think any record, any artistic effort that requires one, putting something out, getting something that's from within you out of you, demands a certain, at least, respect, even if it's not something that you necessarily aligns with your tastes. But that's why I don't think it would be quite easy for me to call out a record that I don't really love. And some people commented on this notion and they said, you need to hate some records, you need to, shut up with this you like everything sort of attitude. And Vinyl Richie said to me, yeah, leave it up to the guy who, doesn't have much negative stuff to say about others to say that he can't do the turkey tag because he doesn't have any turkeys in his life. Well, Brian, he went on to say, don't change. And, I really appreciated that, Vinyl Richie. I really appreciated that. So, if there's somebody in your life who, doesn't think like you or doesn't reflect on life the same way as you, just try to remember they have the same feelings as you do. And, to ask them to not be a certain way or to be more of a this way is a kind of asking them to be who they aren't. And I don't know if I think that's necessarily a good thing. People should be who they are, and we should accept them for that. So, yeah. Okay, not sure I got that out, but I had a moment to reflect. It was on my mind. Not sure if I'll post this or not, but it was a nice little stroll under here at Persimmon Hall. I'm excited to go in and see my son do a big dance performance. I know they've been working really, really hard on it, and so I'm very excited for him. Unfortunately, there's no cameras allowed because they're going to make the video and they're going to take professional photos, and they, of course, want us to buy it all, which, of course, we will. And yeah, maybe some years from now we'll be able to share some more about it, but he's doing really good. I'm really proud of him. So, really cool complex here. Just in the middle of the Meguro neighborhood. And yeah, there's a big theater and a small theater and a library and a gymnasium, and there's even a little pyramid. Leave it to Japan to make like a Louvre pyramid in the courtyard, a little mini version of the Louvre. Okay guys, I'm gonna sign off. I will say thank you for joining me on another random Brian-ness video. I hope it's not too boring. Maybe watch it on fast forward. I'll leave that recommendation at the beginning, and that way it'll go by quickly. Alright, if you have any thoughts on this toxic positivity notion, or about, asking people to try to be less of who they are, let me know what your thoughts are. I'm curious. I get it, not everybody's gonna vibe, and that's fine, but why would you want somebody to not be who they are? Let's try to be more accepting, understanding, compassionate. And I hope you can take my toxic positivity with a grain of salt. Okay, until next time, see you guys. See you at the record store. Bye.